Mom, why did Aunt Vanessa post that you're the poor relative? My 13-year-old daughter Harper showed me her phone screen, tears streaming down her face. Everyone at school saw it. They were laughing at me in the cafeteria. What Vanessa didn't know was that I'd signed her husband's paycheck every 2 weeks for the past 3 years. The Instagram post had gone semi-viral within our small suburban community. Vanessa had posted a carousel of photos from her recent kitchen renovation, her new BMW, her designer handbag collection. The caption read, "So blessed to be living my best life. Not everyone in the family can say that nail polish hashtag blessed hashtag luxury life hashtag not the struggling relative." And she'd tagged me. Directly. By name. The comments were filled with laughing emojis. Vanessa's friends from her tennis club, her book club, her PDA circle. Women I saw at school pickup. Women who now looked at my daughter and snickered. Honey, put the phone down. I pulled Harper into a hug. What Aunt Vanessa posts online isn't reality. You know that. But everyone thinks we're poor. Jessica Miller said her mom said we can barely pay our bills. That's why we live in a small house and drive an old car. My house wasn't small. It was modest by choice. My car wasn't old. It was practical. But explaining that to a 13-year-old whose social life had just been torpedoed by her aunt's cruelty felt impossible. Trust me, sweetheart. Everything is going to be fine. I waited until Harper went to bed before I opened my laptop. My husband Greg was traveling for his nonprofit work, so I had the house to myself. The silence felt appropriate for what I was about to do. Vanessa had married my brother-in-law Dennis 8 years ago. Dennis was Greg's younger brother, the charming one, the one who bounced from job to job and always landed on his feet. 3 years ago, he'd been unemployed for 6 months. Vanessa had been posting increasingly desperate gratitude content while privately begging Greg for money. That's when I'd intervened. Dennis had applied for a marketing director position at a company called Whitfield Solutions. What he didn't know was that Whitfield Solutions was a subsidiary of my company, Mercer Holdings. I'd founded Mercer 12 years ago with a small inheritance from my grandmother and a lot of sleepless nights. We'd grown from a 2-person consulting firm to a diversified holding company with interests in tech, marketing, and commercial real estate. Nobody in my husband's family knew. Greg knew, of course. He'd watched me build it from the ground up. But I'd kept the business separate from family. No Mercer logos on my car. No corporate events at home. No bragging at Christmas dinner. I worked from a home office, kept modest personal spending, and let everyone assume I was a freelance consultant who sometimes helped with Greg's nonprofit. The reason was simple. I'd grown up with money-obsessed relatives who'd torn each other apart over inheritance disputes. I'd watched my own mother lose her sister over a $10,000 insurance policy. I'd sworn I'd never let money poison my relationships. So I kept quiet. But Vanessa had just used money to poison my daughter's entire school year. I pulled up Dennis's employee file. Marketing Director, Whitfield Solutions. Salary, $142,000. Performance reviews adequate. Attendance spotty. He'd been coasting for 3 years, protected by his title and his wife's belief that he was finally succeeding on his own merit. Time to adjust that belief. I drafted an email to Whitfield's HR director. Then I drafted a meeting request for Friday. Then I closed my laptop and went to bed. The week passed slowly. Harper came home from school each day a little more defeated. The post had spawned follow-up comments. Vanessa's friends were now making jokes about that side of the family. Someone had created a meme using Harper's yearbook photo with the caption, "When your mom can't afford real jeans." Harper had cried for an hour over that one. I reported the meme. I documented everything. And I waited. Thursday night, Vanessa called me. The first time she'd called in months. "Natalie. Hi. I'm just calling to see if you guys are coming to Mom's birthday dinner next Saturday. I'm planning the whole thing. Rented out a private room at Carbone's. Very exclusive. We'll be there." "Great. Oh, and I hope there's no hard feelings about my Instagram post. It was just a joke. You know how social media is. Everyone exaggerates. My daughter was bullied at school because of that post, Vanessa." Silence. Then a laugh. "Oh, come on. Kids are resilient. Harper will be fine. Besides, it's not like I said anything untrue. Everyone knows you guys struggle a little. There's no shame in it." "I see. Anyway, dinner's at 7. Dress code is cocktail attire. I know you might not have anything, but I'm sure you can find something at TJ Maxx or wherever you shop." She hung up. I stared at the phone for a long moment. Then I pulled up my email and confirmed the meeting for Friday. Friday morning, 9 a.m. Whitfield Solutions headquarters. I rarely visited the subsidiary offices. I preferred to work through my COO, a brilliant woman named Amara Washington, who managed day-to-day operations across all Mercer holdings. But today required a personal touch. The HR director, Tom Bradford, met me in the lobby. He looked nervous. He'd only met me twice before, and both times had involved significant company changes. Ms. Mercer, thank you for coming. Mr. Hartley is waiting in the conference room as requested. Thank you, Tom. Please hold all calls. Dennis was sitting at the conference table when I walked in. His face cycled through confusion, recognition, and something that looked like embarrassment. Natalie, what are you doing here? I sat down across from him. Tom closed the door behind me. Hello, Dennis. I imagine you're wondering why you were called to this meeting. They said it was about departmental restructuring. Something about meeting the CEO. He laughed nervously. I've never even seen the CEO. Nobody has. She's like a ghost. She's not a ghost. I folded my hands on the table. She's me. Dennis's smile froze. What? Whitfield Solutions is a subsidiary of Mercer Holdings. I'm the founder and CEO of Mercer Holdings. I've been signing off on your paychecks for 3 years. The color drained from his face. That's not possible. You're a freelancer. You work from home doing consulting stuff. I work from home because I prefer it. My company generated $47 million in revenue last year. Whitfield accounts for about 12% of that. Dennis looked like he might be sick. Does Greg know? Greg has always known. He helped me incorporate originally. But, you drive a Honda. You live in that little house in Riverside. Vanessa always says. I know what Vanessa says. I saw her Instagram post. So did my daughter. So did Harper's entire school. Dennis's face went from pale to red. I didn't know she was going to tag you. She just said it was a joke. I told her it was mean, but she said you wouldn't even see it. My 13-year-old saw it. She came home crying. Kids at school made memes about her. She's been bullied all week because her aunt wanted to show off. Natalie, I'm sorry. I'll make her take it down. The post is already screenshotted everywhere. Taking it down changes nothing. I opened the folder in front of me. What I'm interested in discussing is your future at this company. Dennis swallowed hard. Are you firing me? That depends on you. I slid a document across the table. Dennis picked it up with shaking hands. What is this? Your actual performance reviews. Not the sanitized versions you see. The real ones. You've missed 34 days of work in the past year. Your department's productivity is 22% below company average. You've lost 2 major clients due to missed deadlines. Any other employee with this record would have been terminated 18 months ago. I didn't know. You didn't know because I protected you. Because you're Greg's brother. Because I didn't want family drama. But your wife just created family drama that hurt my child, so I'm reconsidering my approach. Dennis set down the paper. What do you want? I want several things. First, Vanessa takes down the post and issues a public apology. Not a sorry if you were offended non-apology. A real one acknowledging she was cruel and wrong. She'll never agree to that. She's too proud. Then she can be proud while you job hunt. In this economy, with your actual performance record, I'd estimate 6 to 8 months before you find something comparable. Maybe longer. Dennis's jaw tightened. You're blackmailing me. I'm giving you options. There's a difference. I pulled out a second document. Option 2. Vanessa apologizes. You enter a performance improvement plan. You actually do your job for the next 12 months. At the end of that period, if you've met all benchmarks, you get promoted to VP of Marketing with a $30,000 raise. He looked at the paper like it might bite him. Why would you offer me a promotion? Because I'm not interested in revenge. I'm interested in accountability. Your wife humiliated my daughter. You can either be part of the solution or part of the problem. Choose. He was quiet for a long moment. Then he pulled out his phone. I need to call Vanessa. Use the conference room. Take your time. I stepped into the hallway and poured myself a coffee. Through the glass, I could see Dennis pacing, phone pressed to his ear. His face was animated. Upset. Then angry. Then defeated. 20 minutes later, he emerged. She'll do it. The apology. She wants to know if she can call it a misunderstanding. She can call it whatever she wants as long as she explicitly says she was wrong to tag me, wrong to mock family publicly, and that Harper's family is not struggling. Include the word sorry at least twice. Dennis nodded wearily. She's going to kill me for this. She should have thought about consequences before she posted. Did you really build all this yourself? The company? Everything. I really did. 12 years of work. Nobody handed me anything. He shook his head slowly. And you never said a word. All those dinners where Vanessa bragged about our life, and you just sat there. I don't need to brag, Dennis. I know what I've built. That's enough for me. Saturday evening. Mom Hartley's 70th birthday dinner at Carbone's. Vanessa had posted her apology Friday afternoon. It was stilted and clearly reluctant, but it met my requirements. Some of her tennis friends had commented asking what happened. She hadn't responded. When Greg and I walked in with Harper, the room went quiet. Vanessa was standing by the bar, drink in hand, looking like she'd swallowed a lemon. Natalie, she said stiffly. You came. Of course. It's Mom's birthday. Harper walked past her without a word. My daughter had spent the morning reading supportive messages from classmates who'd seen the apology post. The tide was turning. Mom Hartley embraced me warmly. She'd never treated me poorly, just stayed out of the rivalry Vanessa had manufactured. I heard about the Instagram business, she whispered. I'm so sorry. I raised Dennis better than that. It's not your fault. Still, I'm glad it's resolved. During dinner, Dennis couldn't meet my eyes. Vanessa sat in stony silence while her usual audience of admirers kept their distance. The dynamic had shifted. Nobody knew exactly why, but they could feel it. After dessert, Greg stood to toast his mother. Then Dennis stood, unexpectedly. I also want to say something. He cleared his throat. To Natalie, I owe you an apology. My wife posted something unkind about you online, and I didn't stop her. I should have. You've been nothing but generous to our family, and we haven't always appreciated it. So thank you. For everything. He didn't specify what everything meant. He couldn't, without exposing his job situation. But the message was clear. Vanessa looked like she might spontaneously combust. After dinner, she cornered me by the coat check. You think you've won something, she hissed. Making Dennis grovel like that. I didn't make him do anything. He chose to be decent. You might try it sometime. Everyone will know now. That you have money. That you've been hiding it. They'll hate you for lying. I never lied, Vanessa. I just didn't advertise. There's a difference. I took my coat from the attendant. But here's what I want you to remember. I could have fired Dennis. I could have let you lose your house, your cars, your precious handbags. I chose not to. Not because I'm weak. Because I'm not interested in destroying family. I just want to be treated with basic respect. Think you can manage that? She didn't answer. I found Harper waiting by the car with Greg. My daughter was smiling for the first time all week. Aunt Vanessa looked really mad, Harper observed. She'll get over it. Mom, are we actually rich? I put my arm around her. We're comfortable. But money doesn't make you rich, sweetheart. Character does. How you treat people does. Remember that. She leaned into me. I think Aunt Vanessa forgot that part. Maybe. But she's learning. We drove home through quiet streets, past houses lit up for the evening. My modest Honda. My comfortable house. My family intact. Some people needed everyone to know their worth. I just needed to know it myself. And now, finally, so did Vanessa.